Who believe? Yes, so I'm finally going live, and my first live, and I can see nobody's online, but no problem. Let's just keep talking. So, I wanted to talk about the beauty of singlehood. So many people, they might not understand, they might not know, but you have to enjoy the days where you find yourself alone. I don't know how to say this. In a world that is so messed up and people are so on tour, on edge, everyone is always thinking, my friends are all together. I have no one to cry to. I used to have this friend, she always be like she's lonely, playing that she wants someone she always wants to tell her day to and everything. I'm like, okay, yes, that is good. That is awesome. I mean, it's not a bad thing to want to actually talk to someone if you have issues, but sometimes you just still have to know that sometimes being alone can be beautiful in its own way. Being alone can be beautiful in its own way. What do I mean? Take, for example, back then, I remembered before I had the opportunity to kind of like um, work as a medical student in the hospital. And I remember that's when I started my medical training. I remember that a lot of people then were like, Daniel, you don't allow girls come to your room. Daniel, you're always alone. Daniel. And I was like, there's a lot of things I can do right now that I'm single that I would probably not have been able to do if I was with someone else. And I was like, the whole essence was that right now, because obviously someday I will be with someone else and singlehood will be no more. But for now, where I am alone, I should be able to make the best of it. I should be able to maximize what I have now. I don't know if you understand. So for me, I'm not stressed. I'm not pressured. There's no need for me to rush to be engaged when I know there's so much I can do even while I am alone. I don't know if you get. That's not to say it's good to be alone because even if you're a Christian, you know that the Bible said God looked and he said it's not good that a man should be alone. But then on the other hand, look at it from this angle. You can be so much productive. There's so much productivity you can get. There's so much productivity that you can acquire when you are alone. Let me give you another example. There was this video I was watching on YouTube one time, and the guy was like, I dare you to disappear for 6 months. And I was like, is that even possible? Like in our day and age of social media, so many people, you have YouTube, you have WhatsApp, you have Facebook, you have Instagram. There's so much. I mean, there are so many people that are going to so many things that are actually pulling for your time. There are so many things that are actually dragging your time, telling you I think it's difficult. I was like, can someone actually disappear three for 6 months? It's impossible. And I tried something. So what I did was that I tried to disappear for the best I could do then was about 2 weeks. But you know something? When I came back after that 2 weeks, I noticed that my productivity levels in that 2 weeks was like it was astronomical. I mean, what I was able to achieve in that 2 weeks, whereby I just kept to myself and focused on set goals that I had, was where as in it was crazy. I was like, can you imagine that this kind of thing is possible? So that made me understand that there's a whole lot of productivity that one can get from like putting yourself, secluding yourself, taking time to think, taking time to discover all those hidden things that you have within yourself. So, what is the beauty of singlehood? The beauty of singlehood is appreciating your own uniqueness, your own oneness. Because, to be very honest, when someone else comes into the picture, you are not going to be as focused as you would have been then, because now you are looking at the well being of the other person. I hope you guys can see me clearly because I know the light is might be disturbing, but I wanted you guys to just follow me and walk around the hospital. I'm going around the hospital. So that is the beauty of singleness. Like I remember then, back then in school those days, like when I was still very young, somebody will be asking, now you're not very old. Okay, I'm not very old, but still, when I was still like in my secondary school, there was this need. So many people wanted. There was this need for people to, like, I need to have a girlfriend. I need to just have someone. I need to just have someone. And then, of course, I joined in the whole craze. I joined in the whole thing. I didn't understand. Of course, I wanted to belong. I wanted to be among. And I ended up doing things that I shouldn't have done because I was following the crowd. in life, never ever follow the crowd. Following the crowd can be very, very terrible. You know why? Because you're going to end up doing things that are not beneficial for you because people said you should do them. Everything you do should be well thought out. Everything you do in life should be, you should follow principles and plans that you have for yourself. Don't ever do things because people said you should do them. Do things because you've thought it through. You've looked at the repercussions of these things. If someone tells you to jump into fire, of course you wouldn't jump into fire. Of course, isn't that true? So it's the same thing, it's the same reasoning, it's the same logic. So back then I did a lot of these things, and I noticed I was pressured because then I there was this girl then, and I kind of like met up with the girl and I started dating her. Now, this is what I'm trying to get at. I wasn't with this girl at this point because I valued her person. I wasn't with this girl because I admired her, or I wasn't with this girl because I thought she was an incredible personality. I was with this particular girl then because my friends said it was cool to be with this girl. And because of that, I messed up. And that's why you should not do things because people said you should do them. You should do things because you've thought it through. Now, if I was ready for something in that nature and I had gone into this relationship by myself, then maybe it would have had a better outcome. I don't know where she is right now, but if I could find her, I think I would apologize because I wasn't being serious and I messed up in so many ways. But that's on a lighter note anyway. But now that I am wiser, in quotes, I feel the need to always tell people, that don't be pressured to go into relationship or things because you just feel the need. What I'm trying to say is that think it through. Think it through. So now I'm appreciating being single. I'm appreciating, I know some of my friends, if they watch this video, they will laugh. They'll be like, what are you saying? But the truth is that I'm appreciating being single. And also, I am preparing myself. Like I'm acquiring those things that are important. I'm acquiring those things that will make sense for me to have when I finally decide to leave the path of singlehood. By that time, I will not be like, okay, all right, I'm ready now. I'm ready to kind of like take this big step and go in this particular direction. I'm ready to see the world as it should be. You understand? So that's something I've thought through. And I don't know if you are wondering, like, man, okay, I know I'm not ready for a relationship right now. I know I'm not ready to go into something like this, but how do I help myself so that I'm able to give the best that I have to someone that is potentially going to take me out of singlehood? How can I give the best that I have to someone that is potentially going to be the one I'm going to be a partner to in the future? Well, to that I would say prepare yourself even harder. Read books. That's something I do a lot these days. I tend to read books. I tend to try to find out. I tend to want to listen to what people are saying, people that have been in this position that I want to get to. I want to understand what mistakes did they make so that I don't make the same mistakes when I'm in their position. I want to understand what problems did they have so that I don't make the same problem when I get to that same position. You know, I don't feel relationships just break down like that. There's always a marker. Like there are signs, there are red flags, there are things that will be telling people that this is going to happen. But obviously, for some reasons, they ignore them. So mine is that how can I ensure I do my best to not fall into the same traps that these people fell into so that someone doesn't come and suffer at my hands, so that someone's daughter won't come and suffer at my hands? Because I can as well be celibate. If you know you are going to treat someone, you are going to maltreat someone's daughter, you're going to beat her up, or the other way around, you're going to maltreat someone's son, then don't go into a relationship. You understand? Just remain single and appreciate singlehood, because singlehood is not that bad a thing. But if you choose to go the other way, then you have to be prepared. And the beauty of singlehood again is that it gives you that time to prepare. And this is what many people miss out. This is what a lot of people miss out on. They forget that they have this time period, they have this time frame to sit down and grow their personalities to get to a point whereby they are able to be appreciated. Instead of them to take out their time to study, instead of them to take out their time to research, to discover how best can I ensure that people appreciate, or whoever I'm going to be, is going to appreciate my person. But no, they just jump right in and they go in and they mess everything up. I mean, it's something else. It's something else. And it's a very big problem. But I know many people will be like, well, problems, they go, they come. That's just how it is. It's just life. We are not supposed to be bothered about these things. But no, I don't agree. I once had a friend. She was in a relationship for about 5 years, thereabouts. And then I got to find out that she had ended the relationship, and I was like, back then I didn't know much, and I was like, "Ha, you ended your relationship. I mean, 5 years. That was a lot. Was it that the person was bad? Was it that it was maltreating you? Was it what was happening?" And she was like, "No, there were a lot of things that they were not compatible in so many years." And I was like, "Man, it took you 5 years to discover you were incompatible." And I was like, okay, maybe some people it may take them much time, but I feel personally that during those periods of being single, if you are taking out your time to check out certain things, you will have to go through all that kind of stress. I don't know. Will I be able to stay with someone for 5 years dating? I don't know. I may end up just going directly in without wasting that amount of time. But still, I feel if people take out time again, from which is the premise I'm standing on, to research some of these things, then a lot of people won't make these mistakes. A lot of people won't make these mistakes that we are talking about. Singlehood can be beautiful. There is so much that you can achieve when you take out time to study the beauty of being single. There's something else I really want to talk about before I end this live stream. This is my first live stream. I've never done this before, and I think 3 people have logged in and 3 people have logged out back. But don't worry, we are getting there. Time is going to come. We're going to be seeing like 5,000 people, 10,000 people, 30,000 people, 50,000 people live streaming. And yes, we're going to get there. It's just a matter of time. But there's something else I want to talk about before I end the live stream, like I talked about. Singlehood. There's this thing that is happening. Even younger people these days tend not to. I mean, you hear of kids 10 years, 11 years, 9 years of age, and these people are already going into relationships. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, if you're already starting a relationship at the age of 9, 10, 11, when are you going to have the time to grow your mental capacity to be able to understand all the relationship materials? And of course, social media and Hollywood and the film industry isn't helping issues. I mean, you watch movies, you see very young people. They're already insinuating that very young people should love themselves. I mean, these people, do they even have the concept of what love is? No, love is, it's an over exaggerated term. It doesn't really, I don't even know what is the definition of love these days. Because for some people, love is just people kissing each other, and people, for some that go the extra mile, people having sex. That's not love. I don't remember when someone else made this thing. He said love is a decision. And I was like, yes, that makes sense, because it's, you decide, and you have to have a deeper understanding to be able to make that kind of decision. But for me, here was the key thing. I was like, if you are now making these people to feel like this younger generation, what happens when they get older? Do they understand this concept? Yes, you can explain to them, but not push them. Like, you can imagine a mother coming to discuss with the 9-year-old child and telling him, you should have a girlfriend. And I'm like, I'll be telling a 9-year-old kid to have a girlfriend or boyfriend. I mean, they aren't ready. What happened to friendship? What happened to friendship? And friendship is one of those beauties of singlehood. I can choose to just have a friend. And this is something I'm going to talk about later. The beauty of friendship. It's I once told a friend, like, because then I have this tendency to like a lot of people. I was like, I appreciate friendship so much. Friendship lasts forever. How many people have you heard that were friends that divorced? In fact, the divorce rate this year is crazy. I mean, true friends that were very close. It's very rare. It's very, very rare. Except something went wrong along the way. It's very hard before you see that kind of thing happened. But that's just the society we are living in, I guess. So here's what I want to say. I feel a lot of people should talk about this. In as much as we have relationship seminars, we have relationship seminars, we have people talking about all these things. I feel people also need to talk about the importance of people appreciating that period of their life when they were single, and acquiring wisdom and acquiring knowledge to prepare them for the other period in their life when they will no longer be single, and so that they will be better prepared to give that person, I mean, the proper taste of life. It's only deserving that they get that, don't you think? All right, so I'll see you guys in my next video, and till then, goodbye. So how do they stop this thing?